Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be joining us from. My name is Catherine Spear, and I'm the owner of Thermography Clinic New Brunswick. And today I am absolutely thrilled and delighted. I feel like a giddy little child with my guest that we have here today. And it's a little bit different than the health and wellness pieces that I normally do, although it is very connected. So today I want to introduce you to my dear friend, Angelique Binet. And Angelique is joining us remotely, but I want to tell a little bit about her first before I pass it over to her. Angelique is the incredible author of the best-selling book, Are You Visible? Now, are you visible? And it does say up here, for women in business. However, it goes a lot deeper than that because regardless, your business of looking after yourself is also a business. Right? It's very much so. And at some point, I'll tell you my little story that I've just shared with Angelique and how her book has helped me to get unstuck in some pieces that where I was stuck as well, too. However, just a quick introduction to Angelique. She's an online visibility strategist for women entrepreneurs who want to fall in love with their fear of becoming visible. She is also a best-selling author, TEDx speaker, podcast host, paid media strategist, and founder of Social Media Love. She has over 30 years experience in journalism, communication, and digital marketing in both France and Canada at organizations like Radio France International, Le Figaro, I hope I'm saying that properly, and CBC Radio Canada. So please join me in welcoming Angelique today to our episode. Angelique, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm of shivers. I'm so happy. Our connection is so special and it went fast.
Good.
So
But when the
thank you
soul
for,
knows, the soul knows.
I'm excited.
Good.
Yes.
Well, let's just dig right in. So, as everybody knows, I'm going to start throwing some questions over to Angelique, and where this conversation leads us to, it will lead us to. But, Angelique has got such an incredible story, and I'm going to showcase her book a couple of times, Are You Visible? We're going to talk a little bit about how you can get the book. It's a really great read. It's very impactful. But her story starts out in France. And she was previously, part of her story is that she was also raised on a farm in France. And then her journey that led her to come to Canada and to doing what she's doing, it's really incredibly special. And I love that, majority of women entrepreneurs, when you really talk to them, that there's a shift in time or a moment in time that hits their soul that leads them to opening the businesses that they have, right? It is, as you called it, and I love this quote, and I have to share this with you. I'm here to lead women who know in their hearts that they are destined for more, but find themselves confined within a metaphorical box, right? So let's dig in, Angelique. Tell
Okay.
everybody what it is that you do, how you came about this. Let's talk about some of your programs that you have. Let's just start.
Yes. So I just want to start with a story that started yesterday at the pharmacy. I hadn't met someone for years. We met at Good Life. We were gym rats. And then I haven't, when you haven't seen someone for a long, long time. And we're like, oh, and then how are you? Are you still there? Do you still do this? So I explained, well, I'm still there, but I also have now full-fledged of services serving women entrepreneurs to show up online and really, share their message with the world and monetize it. And she says, oh, I need this. And so we talk, and what we came to, it was like, I need a purpose. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know. I know I have something in me, but I don't know what it is. So I'm doing my day job, but inside of me there is something roaring, and I don't know what it is. And so I told her, and I try to not coach people when I meet them in the street, but I allow myself to say, don't worry, you know what it is. You just need to hear it.
Uh-huh.
It's there. So basically, that's what I do through the vessel of entrepreneurship. Because as you know, there are plethora of services, trainings, and all the things you can learn about digital marketing, traditional marketing, but until it feels yours, it's heavy. And a lot of women entrepreneurs that I meet are burnt out by their marketing, or they don't even show up at all, or it feels like it's a thing to do. And it's not sustainable because when you resent something, it's against you. And your marketing is the only way to sell your services. You got to love it and find a way to do it that works for you.
Mhm.
So that's really what I'm a facilitator of this for women entrepreneurs. And it started with, being the coach, the trainer around digital marketing. But then I realized very quickly that even if you have the best strategy and the best tactics, if inside of you it says no,
Yes.
well, you're wasting your time and money and you feel very frustrated. And the world miss out on your beautiful services that are transformative, because the women I work with, they're amazing. They're like you, like they believe in their thing, and whatever they do, they're like fairies for others who are trying to change an aspect in their life, right? So our job is to show up, to invite more people to work with us. So
Mhm.
that's what I do and where it's coming from.
Perfect. So she's being very modest because
Okay.
there's so much to you, Angelique, and to your story. And again, I'm going to encourage people, please take my word for it. Please, please, please get the book. There's so many nuggets of gold in there. And I don't care, even if you think that you've done all the work,
Mm.
because I've done all the work in the past, right? I'm a Reiki master teacher. I took, years of training, 5 years of that, did a lot of inner healing, I've done various programs on, business, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? The list goes on, a lot of self-help. But what I was saying to Angelique is that yesterday I finished the book and it was incredible because it was perfect timing. And it was to help me to get unstuck on a few areas that I was stuck in. But here was the interesting thing is that I resonated with Angelique on so many of her stories, what led her to where she is today, that at one point I was sitting in my sauna while I was reading it and I cried because there was this connection. And I think that as I sat back, every woman is going to resonate to exactly some of the stories that Angelique shares, because we all experience those types of moments. Maybe the way in which we experience the moment is a little bit different, right? Like I didn't have to, be born in France and all this stuff to get here and all you went through in between. But how we experience it might be different, but what we experience is very similar. And, I'll say it again, women supporting other women is where the power is.
Mhm.
Women, not only supporting women, but women loving other women for where they're at in their process. That is where the big power is as well, right? Instead of against each other, lifting each other up and ensuring that we all have a voice. And this is where I see a lot from you, Angelique, is that encouragement of women to stand in their voice, because I personally don't think, and I've just myself in the last probably 6 years am learning more and more about standing in my own truth and speaking my own truth and not being afraid to do that for fear of repercussions of what people think. I'm not going to say that I'm not over it, because I'm certainly not, because there are some things I would love to shout from the rooftops on, and I still don't, right? I'm hesitant. But again, yesterday there were some really great reminders there. And I see you elevating women all the time in this space that you're in with the social media love. And what a great spin on social media, because social media you're right, it can be overwhelming. It can get to the point where you don't love it because of the fear of speaking your truth. And so therefore it becomes a chore, right? Because you're afraid of what to say. You're always trying to be guarded. And I know I'm rambling a little bit here, but I want people to really understand this, because we all as women, we all go through this. And I can think to, dozens and dozens of women that I work with that I know have the same fear or the same feeling, right? It's overwhelming because where do you start?
I love this. And you're not rambling, because this is it. And this is being aware of it is number one, right? Becoming aware. And I think what's happening here is that our role as women, and that's a history thing too, right? We've been carrying those, what I call the generational traumas of, women being burned because of their intuition connection and all the things, if you go back in time, and even in certain countries and culture, if you're a woman, you have to be careful how you show up and how you express yourself. So we carry that inside of us. So my work here is really to help women, and myself, that's the work I do, is to be fully expressed. And to be fully expressed, you got to feel what you feel first. And this is where we never learn what it is to feel, feeling and emotions without judging it, receiving it, and using our mind and our body to process those emotions. It's the start. And most of the time in online visibility, this is the block, but it's not a block. It's just we've never learned how to feel about our feelings and emotions. And this is the language of the body. And if the body is not with you, you won't be able to move, even if consciously you want to do the live, you want to build the business, you want to do the collaboration, you want to go through the 1 million revenue generation. But if you don't have your mind and your body with you, you won't get there. And that's why we do the inner job, the inner visibility, so that you can, that's one of the paradigm of the work I do, is like, entrepreneurship is really the catalyst of personal growth, right?
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that about business. I wish I was told. But you can only grow your visibility at the pace of your inner visibility.
Right.
That's the only way. And so it's a completely shift. Like, that's why when people come to you for social media, we end up having them marrying the love of their life. What it has to do
Right.
with it, right? It's because you become aware of how you feel, you accept your feelings, you don't judge them, then you start to know how to express yourself and not guarding. You were saying the word guarding, guarding the tears, guarding the anger, sorry.
Yeah.
Guarding what you want to say online,
Yeah.
guarding your beautiful message, because most of the women entrepreneurs have a unique way of standing in their own industry.
Yes.
Right? And so how do you share this? And this is very scary, but this is what's going to make the difference. Either people are going to hate you for this, or they're going to say, oh my God, I wanted someone to say this.
Right.
I am not that crazy one. Oh my God, someone else is seeing this.
Yeah. And far too often, how many of us sit with something, a nugget of gold inside of us that we don't say, but if we did, there'd be so many others that would feel validated as well too.
Yeah, and you give permission to others to see themselves in your message. And that's the beauty. And I think that the example of, the book was a freaking scary things for me to do, like, talking about my virginity and all the things. Like, do you really want to talk about that? And I knew I had to, because it's like, it gives permission to other women who thought you should be kept as a secret, or the thing that you should be ashamed and guilty and all the things, that you're totally normal. You're fully expressed. You can be this and that, and it can be the contrary. It's okay.
Right. Yeah. And I love that because, I just want to go back for just a quick second, because I just thought of something real quickly. When you were saying about, when you become an entrepreneur, it's not just about business, but there's a lot of internal shift that, happens as well too. And when you were saying about, sharing that, being vulnerable and sharing that, putting that out there. I remember back when I started the business, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago. And, I'm talking online social media about, as women, we, as you're going through perimenopause, different things happen. And one of those things is low libido. it just goes away. I mean, I had just gotten recently remarried to the man that I'd waited my whole entire life to meet, and then it was just gone. And so one night I'm sharing this on social media, helping women to understand that you're not alone. This happens, right? It's part of, hormone changes, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, I'll get to the point of the story, but it was really interesting because a woman reached out to me and she said, Catherine, I am so thankful that you shared this. She said, I'm laying here in bed right now after watching your live video with my husband. And she said, my husband was horrified that you were sharing this online, but at the same time, he was also very grateful because we had a great conversation after the video because I'm going through that. And he thought that I didn't love him anymore, or that maybe I was interested in somebody else, or that he didn't attract to me. But when he heard you talking about it, it made us have an open conversation. So she said, thank you so much. So I'm only sharing that because, yes, it was embarrassing for my husband. I mean, I was fine with sharing it, but my husband was a little embarrassed. But again, that woman, it impacted her so much that she sent me a message.
Yeah.
And so it was worth every little bit of uncomfortableness that I might have had leading up to that night that I shared that, right? So it's the same, I don't want to say the same because I still struggle with certain things that I want to share. And thank you for also what you do because you give me and others that voice, right? So what I want to share with women is if you are struggling with getting to know you a little bit better, or your message or your truth, oh my goodness, you've got to reach out to Angelique. So Angelique, let's talk. First of all, I want to share one more quote if that's okay, that you shared in the book. We were talking about women and generations that were, trying to heal as well too. And just so that everybody knows, if you've never done any inner healing work, that's okay too. That's not a prerequisite for you to work with Angelique, okay? Or to follow her on social media and to learn about her, okay? Not at all. But something that she put in the book that I resonated with is she said, for generations, the role of women has been dictated by what society needs. Hear me when I say that. By what society needs rather than what women desire for themselves. And this suppression has caused so many women to fear being seen as their authentic self. That quote resonated so very deeply with me because we face that day in, day out as women. Yeah. The generations before, and the fact that there are still women in the world that undergo more suppression than what we ourselves know to be true in our worlds today. So having said that, Angelique, let's talk a little bit about some of the programs you offer.
Yes. Well, one of the, if you consider the book like your appetizer,
Okay, this is
then
great.
the main dish
Okay,
would be, I'm a foodie, so
I love it.
if you listen to my TEDx, and I know you're gonna give the links after, but
Right.
you're gonna know that I'm a foodie, and I'm not gonna tell you why, because I always bring the food in whatever I do.
Right.
So the main dish is called Magic with Social Media Love, and basically what it is, it's a 12-week experiment where you come with me and we go deep on reprogramming everything you think, that you believe, that you say, how you talk to yourself, all the things that people say my voice when I have a big project in my business, and then I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do this, and then 1 second later it's like, doesn't make sense, it's not the right time, it's summer, all the things, right? So
I can wait.
no more of this ever. And so the methodology that I share, it's that deep that I had to add this to my skills and competencies to teach social media marketing. Because as I said, I was providing, I have a huge experience in advertising, in all the things you can have learned from the world best experts in marketing. But I was giving that to my ladies. I call them my ladies, and they were like throwing up before doing a live, or deleting their videos right after doing the videos. And I'm like, there is something that is bigger behind this. It has nothing to do with marketing. So that's why we go very deep on, how childhood traumas and the fear of rejection are really the foundation of why women entrepreneurs are stuck. But they're not stuck. Once you learn how to use your mind and your body and your brain and your nervous system, there is a way to break through and grow without limits. And that's what I've discovered for myself. And that's what the book is about. So now I share that. It's in 9 steps. It's over 12 weeks. And we use neuroscience. We use consciousness protocols. We use, I don't even know how to say this in English, linguistic, the way you talk to yourself, somatic work, and healing practices. So that's one aspect of the things, but we implement that on social media. Like there is a gym, I call that my gym, where every week I'm going to give you a challenge to implement the new you, right? So
Okay.
you're becoming that massive, capable woman that is ready to dance with her fears. So there is an art to dance with your fear. And you're going to learn to love your fears. And that's what I had to learn. And again, yesterday, I talked to someone and she said, I have this amazing project, but I'm scared. I'm not going to do it because I'm so scared. I'm like, great. Let's be scared. That means you're on the right path.
Right.
The only thing is that most people, women especially, push when they have a big dream or a big milestone they want to reach. And that's when burnout comes in.
Right.
And I'm a product of this.
Me too.
Okay. So we do that from a place of ease. What if everything could be easy?
And it can be.
Can be. This is the only way. Otherwise, life is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Relationship would be exhausting if you keep pushing in your relationship. And that's why the way you handle the bedroom, the way you handle the work, the way you handle your neighbors is the same how you handle your visibility online. Where you behave one way in one aspect of your life, chances are it's the same. And it's very subconscious. That's why I'm here to put the light on it, right? So I got trained to do that. And it just works miracle. And you use that for your marketing, but you use that, it changes life, families. I don't know if you know, but I wrote a first book, a chapter in my first book. It's called Hungry for More, A Slice of My Life. That's kind of the very foundation of my business is my addiction. I had an addiction for 25 years. And I explained how that void was the voice calling me, get up, baby. You're here for a big thing. So if you feel that you are here, maybe your business rocks, maybe you're starting a business, but there is that thing that you feel you're doing the thing like they're supposed to be done and it doesn't feel exciting, it's because you're hiding from yourself. And I'm your girl. That's if that can be a way to figure out, is this girl for me or not? That's that type of thing.
So I just want to, because that was just brilliant what you just said. So I just want to make sure everyone heard that. Okay. So the question to ask yourself is, are you hiding from yourself? Are there areas of your life where you are truly hiding?
Yeah.
And I think that I'll just leave it there. That's a powerful question.
Yes.
That's
And yeah, and it's really the key. Look, it's the key.
Ah, there you go. I love it. I love it. So I know you're going to send me the link. So everybody that's
Yes.
listening, if this is, and again, this is our very first get together with Angelique, but there's more coming and I will share that in a second. But if somebody wanted to sign up for that 12-week program, Angelique, they just follow the link that I'm going to post.
I'm going to give you the link direct to the program.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to put it in the same page so that you don't have to put 2 links.
Perfect.
Because it's important that you know that there is an early bird registration until August 15th. So if you're watching this video,
Okay.
and then so it's $5,000 until August 15th. And then we start September 9th. So between August 15th and a week before we start, it's going to be to 6,000. And I should say that because I know that you and a lot of your community, you've been one of my most supportive ambassadors for the book, that I opened a referral program. So let's say that you send someone to the program and they tell me, I come because of Catherine, you get a commission. That's what I decided for my book ambassadors.
Nice. How nice is that? Okay, so everybody listening, there's also a referral program, so just remember that. Also, quick question for you. And again, if you don't know the answer to this, that's fine, but I can't imagine that this isn't covered by Petal as well too, right? So
most of my New Brunswick peeps go through Petal. Yeah.
Perfect.
We're very lucky.
Very much so, right? That there is, that there is some help to support that, because this is so important, because it's not just, this is what I was so excited about when I got the sauna yesterday. I was like telling my husband, the book is not just about, your business, but you are your business. Your soul is your business, right? So it's about healing here and all the transformation that happens inside of you that then corresponds to your business.
And I want to share something that really opened the door for me. So number one, I spent hundreds, thousands of dollars in training in business development, lead generation, marketing, and it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still not doing it for me. And I'm like, and inside of me, I knew I had to go there. Right. That place where nobody wants to go, because it feels daunting. It feels like I'm going to lose everybody. What if I have to leave everything behind me? I have friends that left everything, the family, the house, they became fully expressed. And we're like, that's how human nature, right? They're like, down the rabbit hole, it's going to be catastrophic if I am me. But I'm promising you, there is ways to do it in a way that feels so good. Okay. Nice. But I did that work and I thought I would lose everything. I felt that if I was changing one piece in my life, and most of the time there is shame and guilt attached to that piece. Yep. Okay. And it's okay. You don't judge it. Then it feels that it's like, when you have a little thread in a fabric, and if you pull it, everything's gonna.
Yeah.
But this is our mind stopping us from doing that. It's not like that. It doesn't have to be like that. So that's why I studied that work. And now, not only what I think was gonna fall apart is growing with me. And some people are gonna leave you because they don't belong to your world anymore anyway. Mm-hmm. But some people are gonna come to your world and they're gonna be like the next key to your next level. Right? And it's okay. So it's that type of transformation, and it's beautiful. And yesterday I witnessed one of my clients who are finishing Magic with Social Media Love, and her dream of 20 years is to write a book. So she's 2 days away from signing a new contract with me and my book writer. We're gonna write a book together. Nice. So I'm like, she would have never thought she was capable of sharing her life story in a book, but you are capable of anything. Mm-hmm. Anything.
That is the thing.
Not bullshit. It's true.
Right. We are so much powerful. Like that old saying, when people say you're more powerful than you know, I believe that with everything in me. But it's to how do you access that, right? How do you access those parts of you, and not to be afraid to allow your full power to be shown? Yes. Yeah. And so I always say there are 3 steps to this. Number 1, you need to become aware, because you cannot change what you don't see, right? So number 1 is to see and removing any judgment of what you're going to discover. That's the most difficult part. Aha. I had to write that one down because that is another nugget of gold as well. Then after that, you decide, you can choose how you feel every day. Mm-hmm. You can choose not making the external world become the dictator of your inner world. Right. And that for me was a game changer. Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you implement, you become at a cellular level, your body change, your cells change. You hear yourself say things like, who talked? Ooh, that was me.
And then you start to have fun with yourself.
Oh yeah, from the beginning you have fun. That's a non-negotiable. Fun is key.
Right.
Always.
Okay, so one more quote, because this is timing.
I love that you have quotes.
Well, these are the ones I wrote down yesterday because they really resonated with me, right? And so I wanted to be able to just keep referring back to them, but I want to share them with the people that are listening. This one really hit home, and I think it will hit home for many people. But there was just a quote in your book. It was part of a paragraph. But the permission to reset, to become visible to themselves, and to rewrite their story with courage, creativity, and unabashed joy. So if this resonates with any of you listening to this, this is your permission to get in touch with Angelique. Because this is your soul saying, I need a reset. And this might be the person to help you to do that.
Yeah, would love to.
Yeah.
Would
And
love
I'm
to.
really appreciative of you taking time today, Angelique, out of your busy schedule to come on with us, for me to be able to introduce you to the people that follow me and various others that maybe I don't even know are following. But we're going to share your links so that people can get in touch with you. If nothing else, listen, this might just be planting a seed for you at this moment in time. So maybe it won't happen for you until the winter or whatever it is. Trust your inner guidance, but at least follow Angelique on social media so that you can start to learn a little bit about her like I did. I was introduced to her through another business connection. I'd seen her on Facebook, I followed her. And then in April, I actually got to meet her in person at an event we were at. And there was an instantaneous connection. There just was. I was so thrilled that she was actually sitting at our table, because there was such a strong connection between her and I, and it went both ways. So again, go follow her on social media for a little bit if that's what you need. But if this is screaming out to you, and remember, she's got a special on until August 15th for her 12-week program that starts in September, right, Angelique?
Yes.
You get that right?
Yes. Back to school.
Back to school. Yeah, why shouldn't we go back to school? We're always learning, right? We're human beings. We're here to learn. So having said that, I will be, Angelique and I are going to be working on another project together, though. I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to give you just a little piece of it here. And Angelique, I hope you're okay with that. But we're going to host a women's retreat weekend. And I'm really excited about it. It's really gaining some momentum. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and now I have a beautiful property in order to be able to do that. So stay tuned, because Angelique and I will be working on that. We will have, of course, Angelique here to do some work with us women, as well as a few other very special guests that I will be introducing to you and the work that they do, because it will be, as Angelique said earlier, it will be a transformative weekend. And as women, the collective, we need it for ourselves.
I love
Angelique,
it.
anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I want to share a secret because
Please.
it might be helpful.
Okay.
You know how I talk about fear.
Mhm.
So since my very, very childhood, when I would see someone and they would scare me, I would avoid them. And then I discovered that, especially when I moved to Canada, I was like spotting people and I'm like, you know how you like look at someone, you're like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm so scared to talk to that person. So I realized that each time, and that's over 30 years, right? Each time I feel that, wow, and like, okay.
Okay.
It means I got to talk to that person.
Mm.
And all my coaches that I hired, I was very scared of them. And it comes from also, I'm not going to get into this, but how we have a tendency to put people on pedestal, that some are better than us. That part of me is gone.
Good.
You know,
Yeah.
But it was still now, I don't see in the pedestal, but I'm like, I belong. I want to talk to that person. I see the wisdom. So guess who was on my fear list online? That
Ooh,
person that I didn't know and watching every day here and there.
ooh,
Didn't even know where you were in the world. You!
get out of here. Angelique, really? Oh, my face is red.
I'm like, I'm gonna share it because now I know it's a thing with me. If
Oh, bless
someone,
you.
I'm impressed by someone, I get fear kicks in because I know the minute I'm gonna approach that person, my life's gonna change, their life's gonna change. There is something that's gonna happen.
Oh,
So I
I'm
wanted you to
very
know.
humbled by that, sweetheart, but I would have never ever thought that for sure. Thank you for sharing that, honestly. But isn't it funny how, you know, we just don't know how our connection is going to show up for somebody else or how somebody else is going to show up for us.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about life. That's what I love about meeting new women. It's what I love about bringing women together and just sharing because we've all got so much to share that helps us all in various ways. And God bless your heart. I could just hug you. And here I was so excited to meet you that night too. So
I know, but that was a pinnacle of everything. And when I came home, I told my husband, that woman I'm following for years, like not only we're at the same table, but we hugged and we're like, yay!
oh my gosh, you're making me embarrassed. I God love you. I am, yeah, very humbled. Thank you. But I'm not all that in a bag of chips. But hey, you know,
You are, you are, you are. And yeah, and it's a line of my TEDx. You never know who's watching, and there
yep,
is always someone watching.
that's right.
Exactly for you.
That's
Yes.
true. That's right. And remember your energy vibration, and whether you believe in this or you don't, I mean, I could go on and on about a whole different series on that, but we connect with one another. Like you said though, Angelique, it's for very specific reasons, right? Like you said, that fear that you have about approaching this person, but like you said, that's your inner self going, you need to, right?
Yes.
But it's also your ego going, oh, I'm a little afraid because now I'm going to change, right? Or this is
Yeah.
going to be such a big impact in whatever way. So, oh, this is good. So we should encourage everybody listening to this today. I hope you guys can feel the energy. Although we're not in the same room, I feel that there's a big energy happening here. But maybe that's what we all need to do is our lesson from today is every time, and I know you guys are going to remember this because I'm going to now too, because Angelique has planted the seed in my head now. Every time that I have a heart palpitation or I really want to meet that person, but oh my gosh, just do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
And you're
Okay.
gonna be like, oh no.
That's going to be my challenge, Angelique. Thank you. For the rest of the summer, I'm going to seek that out and just see
Keep
what
me
happens.
posted. I want
I
to know
will.
because the miracle happens each time.
That is awesome. I love that. Okay, so everybody listening, if you see Angelique out there, don't be afraid to go up to her. If you have that little, butterfly in the belly, just do it. Same thing with me. Let's see how we can manifest this and see what happens. It's a great summer project. I like that.
Yeah.
Fun. Angelique, it has been absolute blast spending time with you like this and sharing, with the audience and whoever that is going to be to watch this. Thank you so much. And just a reminder, everybody, again, you've got to see Angelique in the real, and she's sharing some, private stuff with us here as well today, which I love, and I applaud you for that. So remember, she's got a 12-week program starting. Early bird is till August 15th. I'm going to post the links at the end of this. Please, if you have any questions for her, follow her on social media. If you've got any for me, I'm always accessible, I promise. Send me a message. Might take me a day or two to get back to you, but I will get back to you. And let's see where this goes. And if you do start working with Angelique, keep me posted because I know that she's got a lot of gifts to offer. And I know that I personally will be doing some work with Angelique in the coming months as well too. And then again, stay tuned for announcement. I would say probably early September, we'll be announcing what's going to happen for November. So just stay posted on her social media, mine, for more of information, because there will be limited spots, because my place is not that big, but there will be limited spots, but it'll be a fantastic weekend. So Angelique, any last parting words?
No, thank you so much. It was it's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I feel the energy as well. No, let's get together one way or another. The retreat, the programs. I'm sure there will be ways to meet whoever. Like, and tell me if you come to my program through Catherine, because she wins when when you come. Like,
And then
tell me.
I will look at what I can do, because that really hit me when you said that. My instant thought was, and how can I serve back with that referral as well too? So keep that in mind.
Oh.
All
Well,
right.
thank you. I love it. And thank you to all of you if we meet for the first time. And I love your project for the summer. If someone scares you because you admire them, go for it.
I'm going to do it. Thanks, Angelique. Take good care.
Okay, bye bye.